Moving on to the pillars of preamble. The words inscribed in the preamble: we the people of sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, fraternity and equality. Here we will study about the following three main pillars of preamble, meaning three main parts of the preamble we are going to study. The meaning of all these I have sent you in the message form. Please go through the meaning of it, and if you have doubts, please ask. Democracy, the ultimate sovereignty of power is with the people. So what they are saying, that the people have the power to choose the government they want to choose. Okay, according to Indian constitution, there is no particular regime of any one particular person. Instead, it is with the people. So what they are saying, that in our country, in India, we do not have one government. Okay, regime means we do not have one rule, we do not have one government, or we do not give one person all the power to rule over the country. We the people choose the people we want to govern, okay, or we want to bring in power. That is why we go and vote for the political party we want in power. Okay, so what they are saying is that ultimately the power is in the hands of people to decide whom they want to choose as the form of government. And the political parties who are there, they are the servants of the government. They are supposed to serve us, they are supposed to do things for us, they are supposed to do things for the society. Democracy, the word is derived from Greek word demos, which means people, and kartos, which means power. So democracy is a word which is come from a Greek word demos, where demos means people and kartos means power. Country's power is not written by a group of people. Instead, it is with the people of the country. So what they are saying is that the power of how to rule a country is not just with few people, but rather it is all of us who are indirectly ruling our country by choosing the government we want to choose. Democracy state administration is such arrangement in which there is equal justice for people to social, economic and political, and having equal rights of participation. So what they are saying, at the state level, okay, at the state level, meaning state level at like Gujarat level, okay, let's say Gujarat level, Maharashtra level, all these are state level. So all the political parties which are there at the state level, all the governments that are there at the state level, we vote for the government. Okay, we go and we vote for the party we want to see in power. We vote for people whom we think capable of. Okay, and those people then go to Delhi and represent us. Represent us એટલે જાણે કે તમારા ક્લાસમાં તમારો મોનિટર તમારા ક્લાસને પ્રેઝન્ટ કરે છે, રાઈટ? એવી રીતના તે આપણી ગવર્મેન્ટ યા દિલ્હી ગવર્મેન્ટમાં આપણને રિપ્રેઝેન્ટ કરે છે. રૂપાણી is representing the people of Gujarat in Delhi when they go to Delhi. Okay. In democratic India, elect their leaders through the choice by casting the vote to represent the leaders in the parliament, and thereafter assuming the post of prime minister and his or her cabinet. So what do we do in India? We vote for the political party, we vote for people whom we think are capable of. Those people then go to the parliament. Parliament is in Delhi. Okay, and in the parliament, these people choose their prime minister, and the prime minister then chooses the minister he wants to work with. For example, from Gujarat, Rupani goes, from Maharashtra, the CM of Maharashtra goes. Okay, from all the state, all the CMs, they go to the parliament. They go to the parliament, right? પછી બધા લોકોનો વોટ લેવામાં આવે કે ભાઈ તમારે કોને પ્રાઇમ મિનિસ્ટર બનાવો છે. એવરીબડી votes, okay, અને એક પ્રાઇમ મિનિસ્ટર આવે. અત્યારના who is the prime minister? નરેન્દ્ર મોદી. Now નરેન્દ્ર મોદી will stand and he will choose કે કયા કયા લોકો સાથે એને કામ કરવું છે. Let's say he chooses Rupani as the educational minister. તો એના બે ડ્યુટીઝ છે. એક તો he is the CM of Gujarat. Second, he is the minister of education. This is just an example. He is not the minister of education. Just I am explaining this with an example so that you understand it properly. So what do? We vote for the people, right? Or we vote for the leader or political party we want to see in power. Those people then go to the parliament, which is in Delhi. In the parliament, they decide whom they want to make their prime minister. The person who becomes the prime minister then chooses other ministers with whom he wants to work with, and those ministers are called his cabinet. Executive level government, hence executive do not have absolute power. They are not given specific time limit. Similarly, the voters elect state and local level government. Hence, democracy means by the people, for the people, and of the people. So what they are saying is these people are executive powers. Executive એટલે આપણે આ લોકોને વોટ આપ્યો છે, okay? And they remain in power for 5 years. After 5 years, again election happens, okay? So what they are saying that in execution nobody has absolute power. Absolute એટલે કોઈની પાસે બધો power નથી. Even Narendra Modi does not have all the power in his hands. Rather, power is in the hands of the people, okay? So what they are saying is that after 5 years is their time limit, okay? The government ka time limit is 5 years. After 5 years, again voting happens. Again we choose people. Again those people go to the parliament. Again they choose a prime minister, and that prime minister again chooses his cabinet. So what happens is, this is how it is, okay? So this power, okay, these people of voting, when they come into power, are called executives, okay? This prime minister and his cabinet of ministers are called as executive body of the India. So democracy means by the people, for the people, of the people. This is the definition. Okay, democracy means is the government by the people, for the people, of the people. Cabinet considers members of the parliament. Cabinet of minister is responsible to the parliament. So what they are saying, the cabinet which consists of the members of the parliament, obviously the cabinet which is of the prime minister, they all are the part of parliament, and their duty is towards the parliament. They are responsible for running the parliament, okay? Any citizen of India possesses required constitutional eligibility can contest election. So what they are saying, any person in India can stand for election if you fulfill all the requirements. What are the requirements? You have to be 18 years of age to stand for election, okay? So what they are saying, if you have all the requirements, if your all the requirements are there, then you can stand for election. Nobody will say no to you. Anybody can stand for election if you have all the requirements there. For what are requirements? For example, for me to be a teacher, I have to be a graduate, I have to do my B.Ed, okay, which both of that I have done, and that is why I can be a teacher. That is the requirement of becoming a teacher. So similarly, even there are such requirements there for the people to stand in election. If you fulfill those requirements, you can stand for election. Any citizen of India, eligibility matlab ki any person is eligible. Eligible એટલે permitted to stand in election if you have all the requirements fulfilled. Ministerial positions are not acquired hereditary, meaning the minister's ka position is not hereditary. For example, let's say if I am educational minister and if I die, to maro son educational minister nahi bane. Understanding? It's based on power, it's based on requirement, it's based totally on prime minister. એવું નથી કે હું મરી જાઉં એટલે મારી જોબ મારા જ દીકરાને કે મારા જ ડોટરને જોશે. Okay, that is called hereditary. પહેલા એવું હતું, right? કિંગ મરી જાય તો કિંગનો સન કિંગ બને, ઈ મરી જાય તો એનો સન કિંગ બને. That is called hereditary. That position is not there anymore in India. You have to stand for election. You win, go ahead. You are allowed to stand. Okay, you are allowed to win. You are allowed to go to the parliament. If the prime minister chooses you, you can be in the cabinet. Each elected government has 5 years of tenure. So what they are saying, every government which is there, they rule over for the period of 5 years. This government works under the principle of the constitution, and therefore it is the responsible government. All the government has to follow the constitution of India in order to rule. Okay, and that is why it's called a responsible government, because they follow the constitution of India. The democratic government is based on liberty, equality, and feeling of fraternity, and continuous works to achieve these goals. So what they are saying, the government which is there is a democratic government, obviously, because we the people select the government, right? And it functions on liberty. Liberty meaning freedom to make their choices. They believe in equality, meaning giving equal rights to everyone. feeling of fraternity. What is fraternity? Feeling of brotherhood, okay, towards each and every one of us, and continuously they work towards achieving their goals, achieving their aims. The constitution disseminates the power to the people to cast their vote according to their free will, and therefore instills confidence in the constitution. So what they are saying is that the constitution disseminates meaning gives the power to the people to cast the vote to whomever they want to. Nobody can force me that I have to vote for this person. I can vote for whoever I want to, and nobody can tell me that whom I want to vote. Okay, and what they are saying that when we vote for the government, we believe that we are giving, that we have confidence in our constitution, that we trust our constitution. Okay. The Constitution of Democratic India renders fundamental rights, principle for political direction, parliament, members of assembly, independence and impartial justice, election commissions are those provisions which make our country democratic in every means. So what they are saying that our constitution is democratic in nature. We give fundamental rights to people. There are certain rights which each and every one of us get. What are these rights? We'll do it in the next chapter. There's a whole chapter on that. So we all of us have rights. The constitution also has political directions. What are political directions? Let's say a government has come into power. Then how to rule the country, how to rule India, those guidelines, those instructions are there in the constitution which helps the government to rule the country. That's what principles for political directions mean. Parliament, okay, how does the parliament have to run, how can the parliament run, all these things are there in the constitution. Okay, then they are saying independent and impartial justice. Justice એટલે insaf. So everybody is entitled, everybody has the power to get justice. Okay, એવું નથી કે ગરીબ છે તો એને ઇન્સાફ નહીં મળે, ખાલી રિચને મળશે. No, everybody has the right to get justice, everybody has the right to get insaf. There's also election commission in the constitution. What is election commission? It is a group of people that hold elections. Okay, they are responsible for making sure કે કેટલા જણા આવ્યા છે, કોણ આવ્યા છે, બધાનું election ID check કરે. So that is election commission. Okay, so what is there in the election commission is something which even the constitution talks about. Adult suffrage means a citizen above 18 years of age can cast his or vote to one's choice of leaders. So what is saying, the other thing that our constitution has is called adult suffrage. What is adult suffrage? Each and every person who is 18 years or above has the power to go and vote for the government they want to. Please remember this term, adult suffrage, okay, which means any person 18 years and above can go and cast their vote to whomever they want to, whichever leader they want to, without discrimination of caste, creed, religion, gender, education, income or birthplace. So what they're saying that whenever you are voting someone, don't vote for someone because they belong to your religion or because they belong to your caste or because they are a people who speak your language or because they are of your gender meaning male, female, okay, or they are educated or not educated, or how much do they earn, where they are born. આના બેસિસ ઉપર તમારે વોટ નહીં કરવાનો. તમને એમ લાગે કે પર્ટિક્યુલર લીડર કેપેબલ છે, એ આપણા કન્ટ્રીને આગળ લઈ જશે, આપણી પ્રોગ્રેસ જોશે, then vote for them. Otherwise don't vote for them. Don't see, okay, I am Hindu, the other person is Muslim, so I am not going to vote. No. When it comes to voting, please understand that you have to vote for the right person. But it is essential that citizens are enlisted in electoral list. So once you are 18 years of age, you have to register yourself in a list which is called as electoral list. And in that, once you are a part of that list, you get something called as voter ID, and then you can go and vote for whoever you want to.